It is good to have you with us. The big time television broadcast up and running for the second night of October, Thursday, the 2nd of October, 2014. Already 2014. In fact, we're almost to 2015.
Yep.
Hard to believe. Welcome to the inaugural edition of King of Prussia Live. My name is George Brewstar. Alongside us is Tony Seligson.
Yo, how you doing?
Some of you may remember we've attempted to do a show like this a few times before in the last couple of, well, years, I guess. The last couple of years, we've done a few of these on more or less an experimental basis. Didn't think it would take us 3 years to get it up and running, but we are now here. This is show number 1, and now for the first time, I can safely say, this time, we shall be back next Thursday. We will be back next week. Remember, the other 2 shows I said, all right, well, you know, this has been fun. We'll be back sooner or later. We'll see you next time. You ever hear that on TV and radio shows when they say, we'll see you next time? Because they don't know when. Nobody knows anything. No. We're going to be back next week. I'm opening the show by telling you next week we're going to be back. It's a real vote of confidence we've got there. It's confidence all over the place here at the studios of Koptv, including confidence that we have in Abe, who has put this whole thing together. Now, I'm doing this at the beginning. I'm doing this at the beginning this time.
Abe, you rock.
Because remember last time, I forgot. Remember last time?
That's right. He was heartbroken. He broke his heart,
man. I came back because the money's so good.
Yeah, Abe said he didn't mind, but you know, I mean, I was worried all night. Remember, I called you that night and I said, you know, I'm really feeling bad about not having mentioned Abe. I said, can you put something on the Chiron or
on the website,
on right, something on the graphics. I'm using inside terminology. I shouldn't do that. A graphic or something. Can you put down produced by Abe? Can we give your last name, or are you trying to maintain your anonymity?
Maybe next week.
Abe H will protect his privacy. Who was the head coach of Notre Dame football?
No,
yeah, was it
back in the late 90s?
Yeah, that
late
name began with an H, right?
Yep.
That name began with an H.
Yep, exactly.
So anyway, Abe is doing a great job with us, and so before I forget, thank you, Abe. And we're going to say it again at the end of the show.
Thank you, Abe.
You know?
Thank you so
anyway,
much.
I'm George. This is Tony.
How you doing?
Believe it or not, we have experience with this sort of thing. I know it's hard to tell, but we've done these shows for King of Prussia off and on. Unfortunately, more so off. Going back, oh goodness,
20 years.
More than 20 years now. So we know what we're doing, kind of. But that doesn't mean we don't want your input. So we invite you to check in and let us know what you're thinking about things in King of Prussia, what you think of the show, what you think of the idea of a channel. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. We talked about that during the show we did last year. We've pretty much been doing annual shows.
Yep.
You know, we did one in 2012 at Christmas time. And then we did one in February of 2013.
Yep.
And then I had some medical problems that took me off the air for a time. So now I'm back, and we're going to do this show live. To quote Bill O'Reilly, we'll do it live.
Woo!
Every Thursday night at the same time. What is the time? I don't know. 7 to 8? Does that work, Abe? Does that work for you?
I think I could do
Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Does that work for you?
That works for me.
You
sold.
There you go.
Done.
Sold for Thursdays.
I'd be sleeping somewhere else. I'd rather be here.
You'd be sleeping somewhere else.
Yeah, I'd be home, like in bed.
I don't know what. Okay, so you mean actually sleeping? You're not using that term as a euphemism for something else.
Yeah, I have no life, so I'd rather be here.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you here, especially since you're doing all this labor for us and bringing all the fancy schmancy equipment, in addition to all of the fancy schmancy equipment we have right here at the studios of Koptv, which are inside the even bigger studios of Astera Video Productions.
That's right, baby.
Right here in King of Prussia.
Beautiful downtown King of Prussia.
Downtown. I don't even know. Is this downtown King of Prussia?
That's as close as you can get.
Folks have asked me, as the former mayor of King of Prussia, folks have asked me, George, where exactly would you consider downtown King of Prussia? Now, for the
mall.
The longest time, it was the mall. For the longest time, it was the mall. Yeah. Not just because it is the farthest point south along DeKalb Pike, 202. But that's just because that's where two reasons. That's where all the activity was, still good amount of it is, although now we've got activity all over. That's where the activity was. And secondly, the original village of King of Prussia was just that tiny area surrounding the King of Prussia Inn, which of course isn't there anymore. So when someone would say, where is downtown King of Prussia? We would say, by the mall. Good enough for me, right? Now, not so sure. I mean, this target has changed
Can we
everything.
consider this location the new heart of King of Prussia?
I shall consider
Let's declare it.
right here. I see. I'm not mayor anymore, though, so I can't issue a proclamation. I can't do that sort of thing anymore. But I shall say right here, along with Tony Seligson and Abe H in the back, it certainly, I think, could qualify now that we have the Target, the Wawa, not just any Wawa, but a super Wawa, even
With
though
gasoline
that's not an actual term that the Wawa
Right.
corporate likes to use, but that's
Wood
what
family.
it is. Yeah, yeah.
Chick-fil-A?
Right. We have the Chick-fil-A. Oh, we'll talk about the Chick-fil-A
Yep.
too. Remind me to talk about the Chick-fil-A. We got the Target, the Chick-fil-A, and don't forget the former today's man. What is it? The former Sports Authority location, now Halloween Adventure.
All right. Woo!
And you always know a strip center or shopping center is doing well when the Halloween Adventure comes to town. All right, enough with the sarcasm. It's better than it being empty, right, George? It's better than it being empty, right? I'm sure
It's a tenant.
a new anchor tenant will show up sometime around Thanksgiving. But most importantly, KOP-TV, the King of Prussia channel, Astera Video Productions,
Woo!
right here at Broadcast Park. Well, let's call this
I like
Broadcast Park
Perfect. I love it.
in King of Prussia.
I love it.
Sounds
Right
like we know
here.
what we're doing.
So now people are watching this. Yeah, right, people are watching this. People are watching this, and they're thinking, honey, where is Broadcast Park in King of Prussia? Somewhere on 202? By the Wawa? You know, they're thinking of this big, tall building.
Right by Ivy Lane.
Dishes all over the lawn.
Broadcast Park in King of Prussia,
Yeah.
right here on East DeKalb Pike.
Not west, but east.
Not west, but
Very
east
important.
DeKalb Pike. Now, see, here's the deal. You send, I don't know if there is there a 100 block of West DeKalb Pike?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so what you're saying is you could actually send correspondence to this building and not say east, and it should get here?
Sounds right.
That sounds right?
Yep.
Let's try it sometime, see what happens.
Let's do it. Yeah. Abe, send me some mail tomorrow.
No. Why should you have to do that, Abe?
Well, I was thinking maybe we'll send the checks that are due.
No.
and see what happens.
Why don't we let one of our viewers
I like that.
spend the 30? How much is a stamp these
40,
days?
44 cents now. 30
40. See, I don't send. I do all the banking on the.
online.
Yeah.
I don't
We don't
really
buy
send.
stamps.
I don't buy stamps anymore. So.
Okay.
All right. So if someone out there could send us, I guess we would have to give out the address. We'll do that later.
Okay.
Not important, but yeah, I would really wonder how important is it or has it been to say east or west on DeKalb Pike. Now, do you know this is a segue? This is what a good host does. I'm segueing into something. Do you know why I bring this up?
I have no idea.
No idea. That's good. So, building suspense here.
All right.
The now former Marquee Apartments, one of the most famous addresses in King of Prussia. I still think of it as the Valley View. See,
You're going
it
way
was the
back.
Marquee for a long time. Like any of us who grew up here and lived here as children remember when that was the Valley View. So to me, 251 West DeKalb Pike. If it's not the Hilton, it's the Valley View, and the Hilton's not even the Hilton. What is it now?
Oh, it is
It's something else, right?
Crown Plaza.
Is it? No. Crown Plaza is the old Holiday Inn. What is it? I should know it. No, it's something by. It's like Double Tree by Hilton.
Okay.
So it's not the Hilton. It's the Double Tree, and then in tiny print, the service of Hilton underneath.
Right.
All right, so I guess it's all about branding. I guess the research,
Franchising.
millions of dollars in market research showed that, if we don't call it the Hilton anymore, if we call it the Double Tree by the Hilton, people will stay longer. I don't know. I guess their research showed that. But getting back to the Valley View, or the Marquee, or whatever it's called now. I can tell you what it's called now. It's called, do you know, have you seen this? Do you know what it's called now? What's it called now? Have you seen it?
I have not seen it yet, no.
It's now called 251 DeKalb. That's the name of the complex. Remember, I don't even know if they're still around. Robbins, 8th and Walnut, remember?
Yes.
Our name is our address.
Yeah.
So that's what this this operator out of New York, it's Candlebrook Properties, I think.
I've heard of him.
Candlebrook, not to be confused, of course, with Candlebrook School here. Candlebrook Properties in New York. They acquired the property here, the old Marquee, which I don't think we're speaking out of the complex had seen better days. Okay, I mean, let's say that the complex toward the end was not what it was in its illustrious
Prime
days,
in its heyday.
in the 70s. Lots of things were really hip in the 70s. You know, this tie,
That's right.
this tie is from the 70s. Look how wide it is.
All right.
As Billy Joel would say, can't you tell my tie's too wide? Look, when was the last time you saw a tie this wide?
Last time you put one on.
Yeah, that's true. That's the last time I wore it. Yeah.
Woo!
That's good. That's good. Abe is good. He should become a comedian.
Exactly.
He did open mic night, right?
That's
a few
right.
years ago. He
Back in college.
very, very funny guy. Very funny guy. You know?
I was standing behind here.
Yeah. We're going to get him on one of these nights.
So
You
we'll
know that,
switch.
right?
I'll be the camera guy.
Because obviously you can do that.
Yes.
I mean, you do own a video production company.
I
would
have the
hope-
skills.
I
I
would
have the-
hope you could operate
You want
a
to show in
camera.
focus?
Show the white balance. Want to show, f-stop. You want to...
So Candlebrook Properties takes over for, I think it was $70 million.
Woo.
They acquire this property, the Marquee, and I guess this was sometime last year. So they poured all this money into renovating it and fixing it all up. Now, you know, the Marquee, we had heard a lot of things, and then a couple of years ago you had that situation around Christmas time where, what was it? There was no running water in one of the buildings.
Yep.
There was a whole, I mean, it was a problem. So when these folks came in, that's my understanding. Again, hedge words, legal makes me say things like this. It's my understanding, hedge word, that pretty much all of the existing tenants at the Marquee, look at me,
You're fumbling your papers, your
fumbling my
notes,
papers.
you're...
All of the existing tenants at the Marquee last year, their leases were not renewed. They basically purged everyone. Now, there were a lot of units in there.
Oh, wow.
5 buildings,
Probably over 100 units in there.
9 floors in each building. The C building had 11 floors, if I recall. So you're talking a lot of units. They purged it. They said, get out. It's my understanding.
They kicked everybody out?
It's my understanding. Now, if I'm wrong, I would like to have someone call us up here at 337-TALK. I didn't even give it, horrible host, I didn't give out the phone numbers. 610-337-TALK, 337-8255. But that's what I had heard. So, you know, well, George, if you heard it, it must have happened, right? So, maybe it didn't happen. That's what I heard. That was the word on the streets, was that for the most part, there was a purge. They got everyone out, renovated the whole place, and now they're about to start leasing again. And I don't know what they're doing or what they've done, but maybe on a future show we could get a guest on from Candlebrook Properties, now with the Marquee, now known as the hipper sounding 251 DeKalb, not West DeKalb, not West DeKalb, just 251 DeKalb. And that's why I was wondering, is the mail actually going to get there? Because now you're going
None
to
of
have...
those people are going to get mail.
You're going, exactly, Abe. You're going to have hundreds of people who are going to, obviously they're going to be paying more than whatever folks were paying when it was the Marquee. And they're going to say, look at me, I live at 251 DeKalb. And they're going to get all these, people don't print stationery anymore though, so maybe they won't. They're going to get all these business cards made up. No, why would you have that at a residence?
Well,
They're going to tell all their friends, send your Christmas cards to me at 251 DeKalb. And the post office is going to have a whole stack of Christmas cards
Should
because
probably be dumped here.
they forgot to say West. You know, it's going to be a problem. So, anyway, have you seen though what they've done with these buildings? They've painted them this color scheme, this like L-shaped black and white color scheme. Now, when I first saw it, I said, when are they going to finish painting that building? Now, I know I wasn't the only one who said that. It looks like it's not done. Have you seen this?
Yep, it looks incomplete.
Are we sure that it is done?
Incomplete. Oh, it's done. It's done because I was told, my sources tell me, yeah, former mayor, I have sources. Sources tell me that that was the design. They've got that scheme, that L-shaped black and white design. So if you look at the buildings, they look like the painting is still in progress. I don't know. Market research. Maybe they hired some firm that said, your occupancy rate will go up 9.4% if you painted a backward L-shaped black and white scheme. I don't know. 337 Talk. I'm giving out the phone numbers so you know what they are. We are not taking phone calls on tonight's show. Do you know why? Why are we not taking phone calls on tonight's show? Take a guess. Because we are live. We're on live.
Can't afford a phone?
You know, we can afford it. Abe, if those folks watching couldn't hear what Abe said we can't afford a phone. Okay?
It's a very low budget show.
It is a low budget show. Here's what you don't know, Abe. We can afford a phone.
Oh my God.
It's not a very good one. But we do have a
El
phone.
Cheapo.
We don't have the interface set up tonight to take calls. So the ringer, you know, is off.
Disabled.
Yeah. So, but just so you know, for future reference, 337 Talk, that will be the number on future shows, like the one next week, and the week after, and the week after that, now that we're committing to doing this every week.
Well, obviously we're working with a higher budget by next week.
By next week, we'll have more money in
There you
here.
go.
We might even have 2 phone lines next week.
Wow.
You know? Tony might even have his own microphone next week. So lots of good things are happening here. KOPT.
Woo! Things are up on the uprise.
King of Prussia channel. It only took 3 years, but we're back. We're back. So
The table's paid off, isn't it?
the table is 2 more payments, and this is all ours.
Yep, exactly.
This table. Yes, yes. So I guess on future shows we're going to be taking calls live on the air here, and talking with you about all things King of Prussia. We're going to be having guests coming on, the movers and the shakers, like what I used to be.
That's right.
You know, the present day Georges, what we were 20 years ago. Those cats are going to be coming on our show, and now we're going to be doing the grilling.
Yes.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Changing demographics.
Woo!
Trying to lower the demographics. That's what the consultant says. Need to target the younger people.
Try.
A way we're going to target younger people is by talking. One of our new features is going to be a look back at King of Prussia history. That's going to bring all the kids in.
Flashback,
right?
baby.
You know, it's a shame that I really wish kids today had more. God, I sound old. Just that. Right there, that I sound old. But young people today, and to be fair, when I was a kid, I was also, hard to believe, I was an oddball when I was a kid. You know.
You, George?
Yeah. Can you believe
No.
it's the damnedest thing? I know.
No way.
But kids aren't into history so much, and they're certainly not into local history. I would really like to change that. I don't know how we're going to do that, but I would like to change that. A few weeks back, I was at the Upper Marion Community Fair over at the park, and it was a really nice turnout. Got to see a lot of folks I hadn't seen in a long time. I also was able to visit the King of Prussia Historical Society booth at the Upper Marion Community Fair.
Must be a very old booth.
No, all new. It's an all new booth because they reformed the Historical Society, Abe, because I actually used to man that booth back when the community fair was over on, got my directions wrong, Moore Road would be that way. I used to man that booth for the Historical Society years ago, so I was so happy to see that people, you know, not like me, people who actually get things done, were able to make it happen and reform the Historical Society. And I finally got to meet Michael Morrison, who I have 3 of his books. He wrote the King of Prussia history books that are on my coffee table. So he has helped reform the Historical Society with Marianne Hooper, and also, you know who else I saw over there at the booth? I was talking with the gentleman for a little while, and I only knew him as he introduced himself as Frank, and then once he said his name, I realized, I said, oh my goodness, it was Mr. Luther, the former principal of the Upper Marion High School.
Oh my God!
And
Wow.
I realized, I said, oh my goodness, you know, because to me, he's always going to be Mr. Luther. You know, to me, that's how it is when, you know, when you're in school. You know? So it was really good to get out there and see that things are happening, and hopefully we'll be able to get Michael on the show, and he can show some of the photographs and some of the great work that the Historical Society is doing. So. We'll, you know, we've got all these ideas, all these plans for things that we want to do. Now, you know, comes the hard part. We actually have to, you know, to implement them.
Yeah.
But we'll get it done. 337-TALK. You need to dial 610, right?
That's right.
Still force of habit. Back on the old
20
show,
years ago, it changed over.
We didn't have to say that on the old show. We just said 337-TALK, 337-8255, and it was understood. Now you actually have to hit 610. So hit the 610. They could be calling right now for all I know. I don't know. Let me take a look here at
With the hit counter?
Yeah, let's see the hit counter.
Woo!
No, it's still low. You know why it's low? Nobody knows we're doing the show tonight. We didn't tell anybody. Now, 2 people today asked me. 2 people. You know them both.
Yes. 2
people today asked me, why did you not promote? Why did you not go on the Facebook? Why did you not do this? And I said, because this has been like 3 years in the making. You know something's going to go wrong, so why would we promote it and then get embarrassed when something goes wrong? Well, right before I came over, when it was too late to promote it, I was reminded that, well, Tony and Abe are handling all of the technical things, so nothing's going to go wrong.
Absolutely.
So, George, you're just really a procrastinating idiot.
Woo!
I guess that is so. The way we're going to do this, we do the show, we do it live every Thursday night, 7 till 8, right?
Okay.
Then we're going to put on some other programming for a couple of hours. I don't know. We've got some ideas. I'm thinking about old Dick Van Dyke shows or Lucy shows. We got a little public domain library.
Or God Squad stuff.
We'll throw something on. And while that's on, Tony is going to clean up the show, you know, edit out all the cursing and so forth. You'll clean it up, make it acceptable for rebroadcast.
For family viewing.
While that's all being done, we're going out to the bar while that's all happening.
Get some drinks and food.
And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to put the show on, and then the show will loop. It'll play over and over again all weekend.
Forever.
So if you do, well, not forever, until it'll only seem like an eternity.
Only for those who are watching it.
Yes. If you're not watching it, you're in the clear, right? So you can catch it at any point over the weekend. That's the plan. That's the basic plan.
It's a good plan.
Eventually, we're going to have these shows on demand because our egos are so great, we think there will be a demand for this show, for it to be on demand. It is King of Prussia Live, the King of Prussia show on the King of Prussia channel. I'm George Brewstar, he's Tony Seligson. Abe H. is behind the camera. And right now, that's all there is right now.
Okay.
One camera. We were going to call the show One Camera Live, but that didn't sound sexy. Because eventually Tony was saying, Abe, now, you know, Abe, you should know this. You're the producer. Tony didn't even tell you. He was telling me privately. He said, don't tell Abe, but I'm going to tell Abe anyway. He said that by January, this will be a 5-camera shoot. Now I said, what are we going to need?
I think
Maybe.
he's counting his Polaroid.
Oh, is that what it was? Still cameras.
That's right.
His Super 8 camera he's going to bring in. That's what it is.
Show and tell.
Okay, never mind. I misunderstood.
iPhone.
Because I said, what on earth are we going to need 5 cameras? I mean, maybe 3. I could see 3, maybe 3. But what on earth are we going to need 5 cameras for? I didn't realize, oh yes, you meant...
One of them's going to be an upskirt.
He meant, oh, that
There
don't
you
say
go.
that. It's a family broadcast.
Woo!
I hope the
He's got to
microphone...
work. He's got to edit, right?
I hope the microphone didn't pick that up. But if it did,
Shame on you.
if it did, that's what Tony's here all night editing.
I gotta put to work.
While Abe and I
gotta-
are going out on the town.
That's right.
Tony will be in its production, in post.
Well, you guys are actually wearing kilts underneath the table, aren't you?
But,
Yes,
but
we are.
They can't see it though.
Well,
They can't see it.
The Irish, you know.
We
That's
have
where the upskirt
the
camera
table.
comes in.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Well, now suddenly I'm not interested anymore. We need to put a microphone on Abe. Can they hear you? You're monitoring the sound. Can they hear you?
I'm off mic.
Off mic, but they can understand what you're saying?
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay, well, perhaps. Oh, boy. Well, all right, we need to clean it up then, I guess, right? We've got a few more minutes before we take a short break. 337-TALK is the phone number, 337-8255. If you want to reach out and touch us, that's how you do it. I guess I have to qualify. Again, we're skewing young. Young people don't get that reference. That was an old Bell Telephone commercial. It's not... See, now, why do I even bother? Why do I even bother explaining this? It's like if you tell a funny joke, if you have to stop and explain it, it's not funny anymore. So
that's funny to us.
Well, yeah, but we're not the viewers. We're not.
But I'm sure some of the viewers have memories of seeing these commercials, and they'll bring back. They'll bring back an emotional.
Do you know which commercial for Bell Telephone? I'll bet everyone remembers. The Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages with James Earl Jones. Do you remember this one? He did all of the Bell.
Yep.
And remember the one with the fish? This is the book that got Bubba cooked. Do you remember that commercial?
Yes.
Yeah. See, everyone remembers that.
Got Bubba cooked.
I don't know why I remember this stuff. What are some of your favorite commercials? Since you can't really call in tonight, we'll give the email. Why did we think to do that? The email address, george@koptv.com. I'll actually be able to pull it up right here. And just to verify, nobody has emailed me because there's a delay. There's a delay. That must be what that must be what it is. You wait 7.5 seconds, and then all the email comes.
Well, flooding in.
You know. George@koptv.com. Tell us what you think about this train wreck. Tell us what you think about the channel, some ideas you may have, and then we'll come up with 1,000 reasons why it's not going to work. Now, we'd like to hear from you, seriously. George@koptv.com. The website, it's a work in progress. Let's just leave it.
This is up. This is working.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I know it's, I was telling somebody just yesterday, I said, that website, I designed that myself. And I did that website is an amazing, amazing piece of art, if only it were 1997. It would look wonderful. But it's not 1997.
Party when it was 1997?
That's right, baby.
So if anyone out there wants to donate free web work, nobody does anything for free anymore. Only us. We're the only ones who do that, right? We can talk. Anyway, it's george@koptv.com. That'll get to me. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the things that we plan to do on this show. Not this show tonight, but this show on future editions. The show will be every Thursday from 7 until 8 Eastern, right?
Eastern.
Lots of, for our West Coast people out there, Eastern time, right? We have a segment we're going to be doing in the next half hour. That we're going to be doing this segment now in the second portion, the second half hour, every week. It's going to be called, unless we come up with a better name. You've heard of road rage, right?
Yes.
Road rage. I don't engage in that anymore. I don't, we don't do that sort of thing. That's not to be condoned. I think for a lot of, especially a lot of guys, I think a lot of guys, once guys have kids, they really back off the way they drive. Have you noticed this?
I've noticed it, yes.
So I'm not saying, I'm not the guy who does 55 in the left lane. I'm not that bad.
I do 54.
I'm doing, I was going to say 57, 58. Now it's once I have the directional on for 3 miles, that's when it's time to put me out the pasture. You've heard of road rage. We're going to be having our King of Prussia area road outrage. Something about a road, a spot in our viewing area, which is King of Prussia, Valley Forge, Bridgeport, West Conshohocken, Gulf Mills, Swedland, Swedesburg, and parts of Wayne.
Okay.
That's our coverage area. I've been practicing that.
Oh, it's great. Beautiful.
Thank you. Something that is bothering you. A pet, I hate the phrase pet peeve. It's an annoying, it's a pet peeve of mine. People will use the phrase pet peeve. But if there's something that bothers you, something that is wrong, something that should be fixed, whether it be by PennDOT or the township or just other drivers who need to know, that's not a lane. The shoulder is not a lane. Don't block the box when I'm trying to turn onto Ivy Lane here. I'm sorry.
Block the box.
Well, that's what they do out here.
Yeah, it's true. Right here.
That's what they do. They block the box. We'll talk about that. Maybe, should that be tonight's road outrage?
Yes.
I had a better one, but We'll save the better one for next time.
I like that.
We'll talk about Ivy Lane. Those of you out there, see, I'm already doing it. We're trying to make friends. It's a new show. We're trying to encourage people to start tuning in, to like us, especially on that Facebook thing that you guys are all big on. Tony will be talking about that in a moment. That's more of Tony's bag. But you know, this road thing, you can't block the box. All right, we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be back right after this. It is King of Prussia Live with George and Tony. You're watching us right now, King of Prussia Live, on a Thursday night. It's always going to be a Thursday night. We're going to be doing it every Thursday night from 7 until 8 p.m. 7 till 8, what they used to call the prime time access hour.
Woo!
Yeah, we are the access hour now.
We're prime time, baby.
Only on Thursdays, though. Only on Thursdays. This is Primetime Television. All right, you are watching us right now, the King of Prussia channel. George Brewstar, along with Tony Seligson, Abe H. is manning the controls and the camera right now. You'll be meeting Abe on a subsequent program. Right, Abe?
Absolutely.
Okay. You can hear how excited he is.
Oh, yeah, we can feel it.
Said that.
Woo!
Right? In just a few moments, we're going to be getting to what I think is going to become one of the most popular segments on the big time television broadcast. That is our Road Outrage segment. But first, Tony is going to tell us a little bit about the Facebook social network, which we had a Facebook page that was very active about a year or two ago, and then it just stopped for a variety of reasons. And now we're going to bring this thing back up to speed. So why don't you tell everyone about how that works?
Well, hello, listeners. We want you to like our Facebook page. It's Koptv on Facebook, and go on there and write your comments and like us. And it's a great resource. You can become friends with us and check out all the news that's going on and see stuff about us. And it's a great resource. So please, go on Facebook and like us. It's very helpful.
Now, if they go on right now, I should say you're going to see news from 2 years ago. If you go on right now, but we're going to be restarting it very soon.
We'll update it.
Like it now, so that when we actually do that,
Yep.
People are thinking, yeah, right, you're not going to get this done. No, it's happening. You know how I know it's going to happen? Because I think we're getting a sponsor. See, once there's large sums of money involved, then we spring into action. So yeah, someone ponies up $15, we start doing news. That's what it comes down to.
Woo!
By the way, if you would like to sponsor, or you have a business, you know of a business, a local business owner, whatever, who would like to pony up a few bucks and support the cause, obviously we're really just getting the ball rolling right now. So I'm not going to get on here and lie and say, let's build traffic for your business. You advertise on Koptv, and next week you're going to have more customers than you know what to do with. No, we're not going to say that, because we're just getting the ball rolling. Just a few people are watching this week. Next week, a few more. The week after that, a few more. That's how these things build. By Christmas time, it's like us and CBS. That's the way it works, right? So we invite you to talk with us. Our business office, 337-6600. 337-6600. And I'll tell you, why call me? Call Tony.
I answer my phone.
Because Tony will actually answer his phone.
Exactly. You get a hold of me.
Tony will actually answer his phone. Tony.
My calls are forwarded to my cell phone.
Tony is the exact opposite of me. You see, remember what you used to say back in the day? You used to joke, George hides from the customers. That was
He's
never,
closed.
No, that was never the case. That was never the case. But Tony takes it to the other extreme. Tony's on vacation
in Dubai.
It's Sunday morning at 7 o'clock.
I'm halfway across the world.
He's taking calls on his mobile phone because he's got everything forwarded to the mobile phone.
Costing me a fortune.
But Tony is committed, and
answering your phone.
He should be committed. No, Tony is on top of it. So Abe is laughing because he knows I'm right. I can see Tony being taken away by the men in the white. Remember that song? It wasn't really much of a song. Remember that Napoleon the 14th? They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. Yeah. See, that'll be like a Saturday Night Live sketch. Watching this guy.
We're really dating ourselves.
We're skewing too far from the top. I know. Time is of the essence. So call Tony at. Can I give out your number?
Sure, please.
610-337-0871, right?
That's right.
087. That's his home number. No, that is Tony's office. Call him right. Although I
It
should
gets toward my
he
cell phone.
probably would give out his home number if given the opportunity, right? 610-337-0871. Call Tony, and that is the master contact phone number for. I almost said ship to shore video, Tony.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
Astera Video Productions. One-stop shopping. Anything having to do with video, Astera, and more specifically Tony here, does.
Any
Film to video transfers. Now, remember 20 years ago, we had a lot of people were coming in
Yep.
with big boxes with film cans,
movie films?
Super 8. Remember Super 8?
Yep.
8mm film, the Kodak camera. Remember that you had a little trigger?
Yep.
You would shoot something.
Yep, I remember those
And then
days.
people would have these little boxes of film, and then they would come in and they would say, you know, Tony, could you transfer this to a VHS video cassette
Yep.
so I can watch it on my VCR, right?
Yep.
We did a lot of business with that.
Yes.
Well, now all of those people are coming back
That's true.
with those VHS tapes saying, could you put it on a DVD?
That's right.
Or actually, they were doing that about 5 years ago. And Tony was saying, okay, and putting them on a DVD. Now some of those cats are coming back with their DVDs saying, could you put it into a MPEG, whatever? Could you put it on YouTube? Could you? And
External, a thumb drive.
you do all of this stuff.
Yes.
Could you tell the folks everything? No,
Sure.
just get them up to speed.
I'll
You
give
can
you-
speak about this better than I can.
Well, we do a lot of different things here. We capture people's memories and put them onto DVD or video or photo. So if you're getting married, you need a photographer, a videographer. If you have a graduation, a bar mitzvah, a birth of a child, a birthday party, a communion, anything special that you need, want it captured correctly, come to us and we'll put it on video or photo for you.
So not only will you go out to the event and use your professional equipment to record the event, but if they have it already recorded by some lesser company,
Yes.
or or I mean, some folks
Or
like
Uncle
to take
Bob.
amateur rigs. I have nothing wrong with that.
Or with an iPhone.
They can bring it here, and you can
Edit it.
clean it up a little
Clean it
bit.
up.
Maybe
Yep.
add some nice
Music.
titles and things like
Absolutely.
that.
Certainly
So,
can.
Some neat stuff. So I invite you to call Tony at 610-337-0871. And he's been doing this for a very long time. He knows what he's doing with regard to video stuff anyway. He knows what he's doing. There are some things in life I wouldn't trust Tony with. But when it comes to anything with video, if you want it done right the first time, I can safely say, call Tony. Tell him you know me. Yeah.
He'll take care of you.
He'll jack the price up a little. Now, tell him you heard about him on KOPTV. Tell Tony you heard about him on King of Prussia Live. And what happens, Tony? He has no idea what. I just put him on the spot here. Go ahead, make an offer. I know he's going to be so mad at me when his camera's shut off. Can you hook them up with anything?
I'll take care of them.
That's what the kids say. They
I
call
will
it the
give
hookup. Can you?
I will
get
give
them
anybody who calls in who mentions KOPTV 15% discount.
50. Oh, 50.
15.
I'm sorry.
15.
15%. It's like that old WKRP episode. Remember that one where Dr. Johnny Fever
Yep.
announced a $5,000 contest and he didn't see the decimal point between the. It's like it's $50.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, so a 15%. I was going to be happy with 10. Geez, 15% discount. So that's 10% off, and then take half of that discount and add it to the 10%.
There you go.
That's the new math.
All right, I love it.
15% discount. You heard it here live. A 15% discount for ship to shore, not ship to shore.
So-
Astera Film and Video. Not film. Astera Video. Position the company right, George. You're supposed to be a professional host. Say it.
Astera Video.
Thank you.
Just keep it simple.
Astera Video.
The show must go on.
That's the website also, isn't it? AsteraVideo.com.
That's correct, yes.
That's ASTERA video.com. And the phone number's there if you didn't catch it. But it's
And Astera means the Latin word for star, just for all you people out there wondering what Astera means. So,
what kind of a star? Like a brew star?
like a star out in the sky.
Oh,
I found it in the Latin thesaurus when I was looking up for names, and it sounded cool. It was the first letter in the alphabet.
I
and
thought you just picked it because you'd be the first one in the phone book under A.
That's true. That is true
You
too.
read a thesaurus?
A Latin thesaurus.
See, that was what Abe just said. I don't know if you heard what Abe just
And
said.
I took
Abe
Latin
was-
in college, so.
Abe was questioning Tony's
Educational.
Being able to read a thesaurus. That sounded like
Well,
a
I
very
lost it all. I mean, yeah,
backhanded question. That sounded right. That was.
I thought maybe a National Enquirer.
Oh, I thought you were thinking more like Mad Magazine or something like that.
More or less, yeah.
Right. It is King of Prussia Live. It is a call-in show. We're not taking calls tonight, though, which means, George, it's not a call-in show then. Next week. Yes, we shall be here next week. Woo! Thursday night. We're going to be here. Right, Abe? We're going to be here with something.
all right.
We'll be here with something.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We might not have a fancy set like this.
We may not be on the air, but we'll be here.
You know, they may have a different camera, may have a different tie on. You know, they're
Probably
going.
not.
What's that?
Probably not.
You see, now
Are
I
you
have
owner another
to.
time?
Now I have to wear another tie because everyone's
prove
going to
to
make
people
fun
you
of me.
own
Yes,
another
yes.
tie,
Quick, head out to the Men's Warehouse and
Oh,
get
let's
out
buy
here
one on sale.
before they close.
One
Right?
of those 80s versions, man.
Yes, at least get with the 80s.
Yeah, at least.
At least get out of the 70s, you know? It's like we're about to do disco dancing here. There was nothing wrong with disco, though. There's nothing wrong with disco. It was just too much of a good thing. That's what I tell people. As a longtime disc jockey, I would tell people, don't knock disco. It was great for the time. It was just too much of a good thing. Right? Too many violins and...
That's true.
337-TALK is the phone number, 337-8255. In a moment, it'll be our Road Outrage segment. We are saving it for the end to force you to continue watching. So we talked about Astera Video Productions, right? We talked about if you want to sponsor this, call Tony. Maybe,
I'll take
I
care
don't know,
of you.
Abe, maybe that's scary, though, because then Tony's going to start quoting our rates, and I don't
That
know.
is scary, brothers.
He'll end up giving away the store.
You don't want to do that.
Well, call Tony
This is
anyway.
Broadcast Park. You cannot give away.
That's
Broadcast
right. We
Park.
are live from, I keep forgetting, we are live from Broadcast Park in King of Prussia, Broadcast Park at 202, well, near 202 in Henderson. We're near, on which corner? We're on the corner with the bank. Wait, 202 in Henderson, they're all banks, right? Okay, well, we're on one of the
Northwest
corners.
corner.
We're
Right
on
in
one of
between
the corners.
the TD Bank and the Hess gas
I
station.
was trying to make them think, but no. Actually, you do have a sign. They're going to see the Astera
Yeah, they'll see a sign.
anyway.
Look for Jacoby's Auto.
What the hell? It's 138 East DeKalb Pike, okay?
Yeah,
It's
come
one-
on.
There we go.
Just stop on by.
All right. Just show up.
Yeah, show up.
No appointment necessary.
Exactly.
Just show up. If he's busy, he'll stop what he's doing and he'll talk with you.
Exactly. We'll have a conversation.
Right? You sit and chat.
You sit down and chat. Like,
We can chat and get to know one another a little bit better. We're here in the heart of King of Prussia, for goodness sake. 337-TALK if you want to test the phone lines and just let the line ring. But next week, that'll be a big deal. 337-8255. And you just turned my phone on.
Oh.
Oh, it went off there.
yeah.
What else can we talk about? You know, it's funny you bring this up. A picture of my now, sadly,
I'm sorry.
my deceased dog.
Moxie, right?
Is
Or
Boxy.
Boxy, okay.
Well, he had Boxy, but Boxy, I don't think, well, does the Zoom work, or is that, we don't want to interrupt the shot, right? Should I?
If you'd like.
You turn around. So
Let's
you
give Boxy some FaceTime here. Okay. Although it's not going to last very long, though. It's
Just
going,
keep touching the screen.
Yeah, it keeps.
Oh, lost him.
Lost it. It keeps. Is it back?
Okay.
Is it back? I don't know how this works. I can't see because there's a delay. Did it go out again?
Yeah, now.
Now it's on.
Is it on? Is it on? I can't
There it
see.
is.
There you go. Well, that's my dog.
Oh, rest in
Had
rest in
him.
peace.
Yep. Had him for 15 plus years. He and his brother. His brother passed away a couple years ago. But so yeah, for the first time in with one very short exception, for the first time in 30 years, I don't have a dog. Well, George, way to bring the show down, huh? You know what? Hey, talk about his dead dog. Isn't that what got Casey Kasem in trouble one time?
Look where it should. We're looking.
Well, now, come on. Now, he was in his 80s, right? How old was Casey Kasem? 80, 81?
Yeah.
You know? But, so why do I bring up pets? Again, the art of the segue. Former professional talk show host, not pro anymore, but I used to be a pro. Former professional talk show host, a good segue. One of the things we're going to be doing here on the channel and here on King of Prussia Live, we are creating, I'm announcing it tonight. In fact, it is actually live right now. You don't even know this. The Pet Patrol. That is right. Starting right now, the King of Prussia KOP-TV Pet Patrol is up and running at petpatrol@koptv.com. You can email it right now. It won't bounce back. Because there's something there, right? So I know what you're thinking. So are you wondering, what on earth is the Pet Patrol? Is that what you're wondering?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Abe, do you know what the Pet Patrol is?
I'm not wondering.
He just doesn't care. The Pet Patrol. If you lost your pet, I don't mean the way I lost Boxy. I mean if you...
Physically lost.
Yes, if you're...
Kidnapped.
Well...
He's missing.
Sometimes dogs and cats decide to
Run
disappear. So if you've lost your dog or cat or minor bird or whatever, I don't know. What else?
Snake.
Do people have snakes? Do they have that?
Alligators.
I was about to say snake, and then you said snake. I was about to say alligator. You said alligator.
That's why you two are on together.
Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah. If you've lost your pet, or conversely, if you found a pet, say you're walking along East Church Road, okay, and you see Fido. Now, have you ever actually met a dog named Fido? I haven't. But everyone...
It's a cool name.
That's the proverbial dog name, Fido. I have never actually seen a dog named Fido. But say, you know, you're hiking up Crooked Lane, going past the hut. Okay,
Oh yeah, the hut.
which is open again. It's
Yep.
open again now. But we gotta get that guy on. It's Ralph's hut now.
That's a great
So
breakfast
Ralph,
place.
if you're watching, let's get you on the big time broadcast. You know, but say you're wandering around King of Prussia, okay? You know, so there you are,
You're homeless and
jogging along Signal Hill Road, and you see Fido. Now what do? Now everyone's got one of these things.
Yep.
You say, oh, KOP Pet Patrol at koptv.com. Take a picture of the pet,
Yep, send it to us.
and we'll try to get the word out.
Yep.
Right? So we're trying to do things like that, do things for the community. And we're really going to be doing it big time when we get a sponsor for
That's
that
true.
segment too. So, anyone in a pet-related business? Yeah.
Woo!
337-0871.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that's the way it's coming across. We just want your money. No, we really want to.
We want to help you.
We want to be good citizens of the community.
And we care.
And you know, if it'll help pay for you know, some streaming bandwidth, then I think that's even better. So, what else? Yard sales. Now, I know it's getting a little cold. Not yet, but in a few weeks, the temperature will start to go down. But there are still a lot of yard sales in October, right?
That's true.
So we want to hear about them. So send that to us. Something else. Community calendar at KOPT. Here's the secret, though. So you're thinking, George, you've got all these email addresses. Nobody's going to remember it. You just send it to George at KOPTV. I'll get it, okay? I'll get it. Just send us an email, and we'd love to tell folks about your yard sale or garage sale, whatever it is. We'd like to talk about it. Your community event, if you've got a nonprofit group, you're having a meeting or whatever, we'd like to hear about that too. So we're going to be doing a lot of neat things like that. We are also looking for a high school sports correspondent. Now, Tony, we were in the high school sports business a long time ago,
Yes,
right?
we were.
We were all over high school sports.
We were.
We did almost every high school in the area,
That's true.
except Upper Marion, which is a long story.
Very long story.
Long legal story. It doesn't matter now. But we did a whole bunch. We did Conestoga, Radnor. You're a Radnor guy. I was an
Yep.
Upper Marion guy. You were a Radnor guy. Tony was the starting quarterback for the Radnor Red Raiders for all 4 of your years, right?
2 out of the 4 years.
2 out of the 4 years. That's still a lot.
Win on the games those years. Doesn't
No, you're not.
It happened to coincide with the. See, it was a funnier story when if he had said he was all 4 years, because I was going to say, many of you know that in the early '90s, Radnor had its infamous PIAA record-setting 4-year losing streak, right? So I thought it would have been a better story to say Tony was the starting quarterback for 4 years that just happened to coincide with the 4-year losing streak. But no, it was only two of the 4 years, right? Who am I to judge? I couldn't throw a football to save my life, so who am I to? But you were a Radnor guy. We did Radnor, we
Yep.
did Conestoga, we did
Strathaven, Haverford High School,
Haverford High.
Norristown,
Yeah,
Upper Dublin.
a lot of good stuff, a lot of good stuff. So high school sports is in our blood, and we would like to bring the high school football and in the winter basketball, right? And not just football and basketball. There's plenty of other things. Lacrosse, field hockey in the fall, soccer in the fall.
Yep.
What else? Cross country.
Lacrosse.
No, cross country, is that in the fall?
Fall, yes.
Track is in the spring. Cross country is in the fall.
Yes.
There's swimming. There's the band. No, what else is there? There's all kinds of different things.
Tennis.
We would like to have a correspondent who is, you know, we've been out of the scene for a little while, right? You know? So we'd like to have a correspondent who would get us up to date. You don't even have to go out to the games, just follow it and maybe show up once a week here or even do it over the phone and tell us who won last weekend and what's coming up this weekend, you know, stuff like that. Now I know what you're thinking. Since you don't have this correspondent yet, George, why don't you tell us who the Vikings are playing tomorrow night? Sadly, I didn't think to look that up before you know, we had a break. I could have looked it up, but you'll just have to look it up yourself this week. Next week, I'll let you know. Watch them have like a bye week or something. Do they do that in high school sports?
No, they don't.
Is there a bye week?
Nope.
They don't have that?
It's only a professional.
Is there a Vegas line on these games? They don't do that, right?
Not for high school.
Okay.
For college and pros, yes, but not,
What about grade school?
I'm always looking at business opportunities, you know.
maybe grade schools, you know.
Grade school.
So high school, if you're interested in becoming that was a joke, by the way. That was a joke.
We don't actually gamble.
I don't need to get some PIAA sanction. You know.
You're banned forever.
You're banned from, you know,
Broadcasting.
Provo Field or whatever. What was the field?
Prevost Field.
Prevo Field. You're banned because you're encouraging
Gambling
on junior varsity. Did you see that?
Illegal activities.
You know? No. Everything here is, well, above board. Well, at least it's at board. And maybe
straight
above
up.
board, where everything is
Slightly above.
Yeah. We do it right here. We do everything right here. All right, a few more minutes. We got to get to this this thing.
Rage.
Yeah, let's get to this before we run out of time. So every week at the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, it'll be our Road Outrage segment. In a few weeks, we'll have a nice fancy little graphic that'll come on the screen. Road Outrage. You know, but right now, just nothing. No. Each week, we'll spotlight a different thing, a different spot on King of Prussia's roadways, or, you know, Bridgeport, West Conshohocken, Wayne, Gulf Mills, Valley Forge, Swedeland, Swedesburg. What have I forgotten? Did I say West Conshohocken?
You're not. But
not.
now you did.
West Conshohocken? I forgot one. Or whatever. So, something you don't like about the roads. Maybe you don't like the way the road is configured. Maybe the green light is too slow. Maybe there should be an arrow. Maybe there should not be a no turn on red signs popping up all over the place.
How about U-turns?
They should allow U-turns here. They should not allow U-turns there. People should not be using the shoulder here. Why don't they have a cop over here? This way they could give out tickets. People wouldn't be using the shoulder. Whatever your road outrage is, we would like to hear. You can send it to me right now, george@koptv.com. Maybe your spot will be next week's road outrage. But this week, we've got one. We're going to, since we brought it up, I had one for tonight, but we'll save that for next time. You had a good one right out here in front of Broadcast Park.
Yep.
Right? That's where
Right
it is
out here.
now, right? Broadcast Park, East DeKalb Pike, near 202 and Henderson. More specifically, we're at 202 and
Ivy
Lane. Okay? Now, when I'm coming from the south,
Okay.
I'm in the southern part of King of Prussia.
So you're going northbound.
I'm going northbound on 202, trying to make the left onto Ivy Lane so that I can make the quick right.
Yep. Into our office.
And enter Broadcast Park. You know, we have the gates, we have the security guard over there, and you know, I have to hold up my KOP TV badge, and you know, he puts the little what do you call that? The gate.
The gate
goes up. You know.
Mr. Brewstar, go ahead. You're allowed in.
You know. So I don't tip him at Christmas time. You know, that's the problem. One time that day, he put the gate down on me. So. You know, we're trying to make the left onto 202, and this has been going on for years. This is nothing new. For years. You get the cars coming the other way. Of course, if you're making the left onto Ivy Lane from 202, you need to wait until the cars stop coming. Or sometimes, every now and then, you'll get one car will stop and wave you on.
Yep.
The problem is, you don't know what's happening with the cars on the other lane.
That's true.
And you can't see. Now, one of the few times that I almost lost my life, and I'm not being overly dramatic here, I know I tend to do that, but I'm not. I almost lost my life in April of 2000 trying to get into my driveway at my old house. I used to live on Gulf Road, because I had to make a left and cross 2 lanes of traffic, and a woman was nice enough to let me in, and I didn't see the other motorist doing 60 miles an hour going around trying to get around her. It slammed right into me, and my head went this close to the windshield, and the seatbelt saved my life. So, you know, that's what happened back then. Here, I guess, what would you say it was, about 3 or 4 years ago? Upper Marion or PennDOT, somebody painted a white box right out here on 202 in the
shoulder lane.
Southbound lanes, heading toward the mall. Painted a big white box. What is the point of painting that big white box? Well, that's to tell you that if the light is red and the traffic is backed up, you are not to block the intersection. I mean, this is not rocket science. You go to New York, if you're driving in Manhattan, the moment that light turns red, if you are in that box, you're getting a ticket, right? But here in King of Prussia, we have idiots. Not I don't think they're the residents. I think they're outsiders who are coming here for work or whatever. I just want to believe that. I don't want to believe my neighbors are idiots. How many times have you seen folks blocking intersections here?
Every day.
I mean, every day, all of the big intersections along 202. 202 in Allendale was awful. A few days ago, I was going through there. So that is our road outrage of the week. And there's no shortage of them. We could do one every week, and we're going to. We'll never run out of them. Right out here, outside Broadcast Park, East DeKalb Pike, 202 and Ivy Lane, right between here and the TD Bank. If you are going southbound on 202 heading toward the mall, please don't block the intersection so that people can make the left turn onto Ivy Lane. And to get into Broadcast Park, please don't block the box. Thank you very much. With that, we end the show tonight. So many things on the table we did not get to, and that's fine, because we're going to be here next week. That's right. We're going to be here next week. It is KOP-TV, the King of Prussia channel, KOPTV.com. King of Prussia Live, back next Thursday. My thanks to Abe H. Next week, we're going to give the second letter of his last name. Next week.
All right.
It's like, there was the game, the letters, the hangman. So
great game.
We'll do something like that. So Abe, thank you. Tony, thank you. We'll be back next week. Thanks to all of you for watching. 337 Talk the number. Once again, it's Astera Video Productions, 610-337-0871. Tony will answer his phone. He'll answer your questions about the channel. Email us. Email me, george@koptv.com, and check us out on the Facebook. Look us up at KOPTV. There's a link to it on KOPTV.com. Tony's in charge of that. Like us on the Facebook. We'll be back. Till next time, George Brewstar saying, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Thursday, 7 p.m. right here on King of Prussia's KOPTV.